Take you through the comments that have just been made by Donald Trump in relation to Iran and the threats and the fresh threats that he's in fact issued against Tehran. 25% tariff threat. Now that's the big one. So Donald Trump, the US president, through his Truth Social account, mind you, as also you were just pointing out, has issued a direct 25% additional threat, not on Iran, but we'll tell you on who exactly in this next slide. Well, the 25% tariff just imposed by Trump targets Iran's trade partners. Now, who are these trade partners? Iran's biggest trade partners, for perspective here, include the likes of China, Russia, Iraq, and even Turkey, which I've been seeing have not only been buying crude oil from Iran, but have also been into defense relationships with Iran, especially when it comes to its Shahid drones. Now, moving on, the tariffs are effective immediately. That is what Donald Trump, the US president, has underlined in its Truth Social post that was shared early this morning, only a few hours ago. I'll just do a quick recap. First of all, 25% tariffs on Iran. These 25% tariffs are on trading partners of Iran. And when will these tariffs take place? Well, according to US President Donald Trump, these tariffs will be effective immediately. Moving on, no fine print provided. In his cliche style, Donald Trump, once again, he's made a decision, he's made the implementation immediate, but has not provided any sort of a fine print or even broader details of how the US and Washington, in fact, plans to impose these immediate tariffs that Trump is talking about. And finally, China most exposed. As I was pointing out, among its major trade partners, China essentially is right there at the top of the list, with around 90% of Iranian crude oil being going directly into China. And very importantly here, this is coming as a double-pronged attack from the US right after its incursion and its activities in Venezuela, where again, China was at its target as well, because China also exports a substantial amount of crude oil straight from Venezuela. So it was Venezuela first, and it's Iran right after in a couple of days. So the Trump administration is clearly throwing down the gauntlet, not only to Venezuela and Iran, but also to Beijing directly. Back to you, Parmeshwar.
Arjun, meanwhile, there are questions of legal authority at this stage, right? Whether the US can impose blanket tariffs on third countries trading with Iran. Also, so far, is it too early to say, or do we know whether exemptions are likely to be quietly discussed for strategic partners like us in India?
Well, on to your first question, US has planned sanctions on Iran as well. And, like it has planned sanctions on Venezuela, but there is still no fine print and there is still no clarity on when will this fine print be made available. And as to your second question, Parmeshwar, well, you never know what Donald Trump is saying. Will he follow up or will he not do what he says? So to your second question, Parmeshwar, only time will tell, and time alone will be the testament this time if Trump actually acts on what he has posted in his Truth Social account last evening.